Hey there, Dolphins fans. You guys have done it. You've got to 300 subs on our new Dolphins channel. So as promised, another mailbag coming your way. If you want more videos, well, then we need more subs. So if you haven't already, subscribe and tell some of your Dolphins friends as well. The link you see at the bottom of your screen, chatsports.com/DolphinsTV. It'll take you right to the channel. Also, go check out the pinned comment. I've got the full YouTube link right there for you guys. And you should subscribe to our new Dolphins channel, by the way, because this version of the video over there, well, it's got some rumors as well. First up from Pressure Nation, is there a chance the Dolphins could trade for Chris Jones, since they have 2 first-round picks next year and 3 young defense linemen to barter with for the Chiefs, or offer up Xavier Howard, which I'm not advocating, by the way. Quickly on Howard, I agree. I'm not trading him away. I'm keeping him if I'm Miami. If they want to win with their corners, I'm keeping Howard. Jones would provide something the Dolphins don't have, namely a legitimate, established superstar defensive lineman. I have high hopes for Christian Wilkins, like Kyle Van Noy. The Dolphins front, just as a quick note here, because I'm sure we'll bring it up on future videos, it's going to be, again, kind of a versatile, multiple front where you could see Van Noy really playing more of a linebacker role. Vince Beagle can rush the passer too, so just wanted to make note of that. The tricky part for the Dolphins here is, do they want to give up on Wilkins or Davis already? I'm not convinced that they do, because they just spent a first-round pick on Wilkins. They just spent a second-round pick on Raekwon Davis. So if you want to go out and get Chris Jones, I am all for that, but it would probably require you giving up one of those guys. I'd be on board with it, but I think it's a discussion the Dolphins would have to have. And is it Davis? Is it Jones that you move, or Wilkins that you move on from? I'm not entirely sure, but it's kind of like Clowney, right? That the Dolphins wanted Clowney, tried to trade for him. He didn't want to come to Miami. Maybe Jones would say yes instead. Over now to Nolan. Would Miami be a good fit for AB or JG, meaning Antonio Brown or Josh Gordon? I feel like they need another wide receiver. I feel pretty good about Devontae Parker, so the interest in Brown or Gordon, I think, really comes down to how confident are you in the rest of those guys? Do you think Preston Williams will have the breakout year 2 that I know many of you are expecting / hoping for? Is Albert Wilson going to stay healthy and be a good slot? And do you trust Antonio Brown and Josh Gordon with Tua long-term, or at least in the short term? If you have to pick one here, who would you go with, by the way, in terms of the receivers? AB for Antonio Brown or JG for Josh Gordon? Now, talent-wise, clearly Antonio Brown, right? From a attitude perspective, maybe you don't want to go with AB. Maybe you don't want to inject him into what is a very young locker room, especially on that offensive side of the ball. It's a fair question to have, and it's a troubling one as well. Moving on now to Nicholas Santos Dominguez. Can we get Joe Thuney in the 2021 free agency? There's no need to trade for him right now. The team isn't in win-now mode. I get where you're coming from, and the problem is, I think, at least for Miami and other NFL teams, is that there is no guarantee of getting Thuney or anyone else in free agency. Maybe he wants to sign somewhere else for more or for less money. What I do like about it, though, is that it doesn't cost you a draft pick. And you're right, the Dolphins are still rebuilding a little bit. It is still a process for Miami. It's not close to an extension. If you can guarantee yourself him right now long-term, I think you would be wise to at least explore it. Also, though, if I'm Miami and the Dolphins want, or the Patriots want one of my top 100 picks, that's not a path that I really want to pursue. If I'm the Miami Dolphins, I would rather not go about that route in the end. So for me, in the Dolphins, I'd explore it, but maybe you're just better off keeping your picks in the end. Trade idea coming in now from DCMMA. He wants to trade a first-round pick, didn't mention which first-round pick, for Yannick Ngakoue. So who says no, first off? M for Miami, J for Jacksonville. Again, it kind of falls into that Chris Jones category for me, where yes, I'm giving up a lot, but it gives me something established, something that I know can give me, if not double-digit sacks, pretty darn close to it. Miami could certainly afford it as well. They overhauled the defense, especially in free agency this year. And again, these are the numbers they put on their teams last year. You guys know Lawson, Van Noy, and Ogba didn't play for Miami last year. 6.5 for Shaq and Van Noy, 5.5 for Ogba, which I don't think he going to be a 5.5 sack guy. Hasn't really been that for much of his NFL career. So I'd explore it. I don't want to give up my first-round pick if I'm Miami because there is still a chance, even with Yannick, that's in the top half of round 1. Maybe Houston's first-round pick is more intriguing. Maybe you can talk Jacksonville into getting a second-round pick back in exchange. So, again, you're balancing the value of your draft picks versus getting established players who do still fit your timeline. Much like Chris Jones, I think you'd have to at least explore it. Now, the timeline for Miami is built around their young franchise quarterback, Tua. There is Tua gear on sale with our friends over at Fanatics. Jerseys as low as $80 at chatsports.com/Tua. Oh, by the way, if you're not trying to spend the big bucks on a jersey, you have some T-shirts and even some signed memorabilia, which is more expensive, of course. It's all available at chatsports.com/Tua. Simple link, but it's in the comments. It's in the description as well. Over now to Tua time, funny enough. How about try to pick up Warford from New Orleans? Now, I'm sure he just means Warford last played for the Saints. He is a free agent. So if Miami wanted him, they could just throw money at him, right? Well, there is, of course, the value proposition involved here. Saints cut him. He allegedly wants $7 million per year. Now, Warford is a starting caliber right guard, and that carries value. But I still wonder if Miami wants to try the young guys out. Michael Dieter could be a right guard. Robert Hunt could play right guard. So there are young options for Miami, and with the way the team is built for this year, as we'll discuss in a little bit, I think they might be better off kind of throwing those young guys into the fire and seeing if they can develop. Because Warford, as an older player, he's not quite on the right timeline Miami's searching for at this point. From Phil McCall, what's the most intriguing camp position battle? Great question. I mean, you've got the quarterback one, obviously, right? The battle for whoever is that third cornerback between Ngakoue and Nick Needham. I'm going to go, though, on the offensive line. You can pick almost any spot, honestly. But I'm going to focus in on the tackles. Austin Jackson, Julian Davenport battling for that left tackle role. Jesse Davis and Robert Hunt, both of whom could play guard or tackle. I think ideally Miami would want Hunt at right tackle, but he might be a guard in the NFL, so there's some flexibility there. So Miami got 4 guys for 2 spots. That's going to make it intriguing, at least it does in my eyes, especially with the blind side switching depending on who your quarterback is. So who are these starting tackles for Miami? Let's go with week 1. We'll go early on in the year. Is it Austin Jackson and Davis, Jackson and a Hunt? Is Davenport in that role? Make your best guesses for me down there in the comments section. From Trix, what's your guess of the Dolphins' record and their standing in the AFC East? Now, I still think Miami is not there yet, especially if you're not going to give the reins over to Tua early on in the season. I think it's going to be a bit more of a rebuilding process. With that said, Brian Flores impressed me last year. He was really good as a coach. He won more games than he probably should have with that Dolphins team. So I'm still going to put them third in the AFC East. I think it's a pretty top-cut 1-2. Bills or Patriots, still going to go Buffalo slightly on that front there. I'm kind of out on the Giants for this upcoming year. I don't think they're going to be that good. I wouldn't be surprised if Gase gets fired, maybe even mid-year, but you guys know all about Adam Gase, Dolphins fan. So I'll put Miami third. I'll put the over-under at wins at 6.5, 7-ish, somewhere in that range. I'm not going to, maybe that's kind of cheating and a cop-out answer for me. So you guys in the comments sound off. I'm curious what you guys think. What do you think the Dolphins' record will be this season? To DJ Swagga, a 2-part comment here. He says, trade Tua, keep Rosen, Tua not that good. To which I responded, what, in the comments. And he says, that man played with all first-round talent at a school that's top 3 in recruiting every year. What you tell him is he played at Kansas or Iowa, he would have put up simulator stats. I'm pretty sure he means similar stats, right? It's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that if Tua gets inserted at Kansas, who sucks, he's going to put up the exact same numbers. What I'm saying is the talent still would have been there. We've seen other Alabama quarterbacks go through that program with tons of talent. Amari Cooper, Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Heisman-winning running backs behind them, and they never put up or played like Tua did. Never. So to want to trade away Tua or move on from him for Josh Rosen, who I'm sorry to say, who I liked coming out, has sucked in the NFL, it doesn't really make much sense to me. Are there concerns about Tua? Yes. I think there are concerns about him getting off of his first read because he doesn't have to do that much at Alabama. That's a fair concern. But he's a good player. He is the future of the Miami Dolphins. Now, could he bust? Of course he could. But you spent the 5th overall pick on him. He's going to be your guy, certainly not Josh Rosen. By the way, you've never, ever traded away a first-round pick before his first year. And the only time you trade it after his first year is if they're Josh Rosen. Which is not the route the Dolphins are going to go, nor should they. As a reminder, that Tua gear is on sale because he is the future of Miami if all goes according to plan. Go check it out, chatsports.com/Tua. They've got jerseys, signed memorabilia, and cheaper options too, like just the simple Tua t-shirt. The orange, though, it looks pretty damn good. So go check it out, chatsports.com/Tua.